You need to be live right now.
Right.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of The Hot Seat. I am your hostess with the mostest, P. Coffee Brown, here in the great state of Texas by way of Houston. We are live on all social media platforms. So welcome in LinkedIn family, Facebook family, YouTube family, and Twitter family. So we're going to be sharing the live broadcast across the social platforms. And as you guys are coming in, please be sure that you like and share the broadcast from tonight. We have an amazing couple with us tonight. Chris and Tomitchell Pratcher, the entrepreneurial family. And we're going to be talking about marriage and the blended family. How to bring two families and make them into one. So our discussion is going to get pretty in-depth, pretty detailed, and pretty specific tonight. So go ahead and start letting some people know that we are live, and we're going to get started in 30 seconds. Good evening, everybody, and welcome in.
Coach P. Coffee Brown and the DFG Publishing House family presents She Chose Him and Screwed Me, 9 Reasons for Her Decision, a brand new anthology project by 9 incredible women. They share with you their reasons as to why they would date one and choose to be married to another. Order your copy today from your favorite author or simply go to www.dfgpublishingtoday.com.
All right, everybody, we are back and we are in the hot seat with Tomitchell and Chris Pratcher, our first entrepreneur couple here with DFG Publishing House. So what's up? Jason Tibnibs is in the house.
Jason.
And what's up, Clubhouse? What's up, everybody? So welcome into this week's edition of the Hot Seat. Go ahead, like and share the broadcast as you're coming in. And we're going to get this conversation popping tonight with Tomitchell and Chris in the building. Loretta Diane is in the building. Welcome in.
Hey, Laura.
Right. As you guys are coming in, go ahead and share the live broadcast. Let everybody know that we are here. And we're super excited to have this incredible couple in the building tonight. So listen, this is going to be a hot conversation tonight. Tomitchell and I go back many years, actually before her and Chris became Mr. and Mrs. Pratcher. Tomitchell and I were friends a long time ago. So before her and Chris actually became one, back when they were dating, Tomitchell and I were friends. So I've been knowing Tomitchell for an extended period of time, and she's an incredible person. So definitely excited to have the two of them here with us tonight. So Chris and Tomitchell, go ahead and introduce yourself and let everyone know exactly who you are.
I'm Mr. Pratcher.
I'm Mr.
That's it. That's all you are.
That's all you got.
Let's go let her do all the talking.
I'm not gonna do all the talking.
Did he just say that and then just drop?
Right. Oh, right. No.
I'm Mr. Pratcher.
No, nothing.
This is not Alcoholics Anonymous.
No.
Correct. So
I'm
continue.
Chris. It looks like he's in AA and he's like, I'm Chris. Hi,
and
Chris.
Right.
Hi, Chris.
I'm Chris Pratcher, married to Tomitchell. 10 years next year. It's been a wonderful ride. You know, we blended our family, as you said. And
Chris, we ain't getting into that yet. We doing intro.
We talking about you, the owner.
I'm the owner of Uncut Drip.
Yeah, we know you blended your family. That's why you're here. That's
already.
So, Chris, I want you to go back to the intro.
Okay, I'm Chris Pratcher.
There you go.
Now, first-time author with Miss P.
International best-selling author.
A best-selling author. Thanks to you.
That part out.
And owner of Uncut Drip, father of 6 children.
All right. Okay. So that was your introduction. So thank you, Chris, for the introduction. To Mitchell, I'm kind of scared to ask for you to introduce yourself because I don't know what's going on over there.
Well, yeah. Tomitchell Pratcher. I am a creative contributor to many. I am an international best-selling author by way of P. Coffee Productions and her empire. And what brings us here, the segue is, of course, mother of 6 and just kind of balancing work and life and wife stuff and all this kind of stuff. So inspiring speaker. And so that's kind of a little bit about me right now.
Awesome stuff. So right now you got some feedback, and I think it's coming from the Clubhouse. If you want to turn your microphone like all the way down and move it away from your computer so it doesn't give you feedback, you'll be good.
Let me move it away. Okay.
All right. So excited to have Mr. and Mrs. Pratcher in the house. And as you can see, it's a little interesting with Chris. I mean, that's just Chris. This is the normal Chris, y'all. This is Chris. This is period. Point blank in the discussion. So we're super excited to have them in the house tonight. And this conversation is one that needs to be had more often because we are existing in a time where families are being blended more frequently than we probably really are aware of. People are starting to marry older, and therefore they're starting to come with families that they've had from other spouses or other relationships, and then they blend those two relationships together to recreate a brand new family. And so we want to talk to Tomitchell and Chris about what that really looks like, how that really manifests, and what are the things that you have to address as a result of that. So first and foremost, Tomitchell, when I met you years and years ago, you had just given birth to your son.
Okay.
Your son at the time. And I think he's got to be like, what, 11 now, maybe? 10, 11?
So Ty is 11. And actually, you met me before Ryan, my first one, my first baby.
Oh, how old is Ryan?
Ryan's 14.
Okay. So I think we didn't actually become like really pregnant until actually after the little baby came.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ryan was 4, and the baby was still in the carrier and still just strolling through life.
Mm-hmm.
He was still just strolling through life and doing little baby stuff at the time. He was very, very young. And I remember that you and Chris were in a long-term committed relationship at the time, and you guys were preparing to cross over into getting married. And so share with us what those first years were like. You guys mentioned that you had 6 children, and you only mentioned Ryan and the baby. What's your baby boy's name? I'm sorry, his name is. What is it again?
Ty.
Right. So you had Ty and Ryan, right?
Yep. So I brought Ryan into our relationship. She's from a previous relationship. And Chris and I share Ty. And I married him with 4. So altogether we have 6. So we share 1. I brought 1, and he had 4 previously.
Yeah. Currently ages ranging from 23
to
22,
11.
18, 16, 14, and 11.
Yep.
So what does that blending looks like? Because back then, Ryan was very young. She was a little girl. And then, of course, based on the ages that you shared, we had some either teens or preteens going on during that time frame. How long were you guys dating? How did y'all even meet?
So we met at work. And it's funny because I met him when I was pregnant with Ryan and engaged to another guy. Crazy. And so we were, really, really good friends. And of course, obviously that first situation didn't work out. And we met at work and just kind of really garnered a great friendship. And then it just kind of went from there. We didn't really have any romantic vibes at first.
She was checking for you, boy.
She was checking for you, Chris. She just denied.
No, it's like seriously though, I'm not trying to play around. We were friends, and so
Chris begs to differ. Chris begs to differ.
It was not like that. If we just here all night, if you want to talk about
who asked who out.
You were my friend.
Who asked who out?
You were my friend.
Who asked who out?
You
first?
were my friend. You were
she
my
don't want to
friend.
answer that question.
Right. But when I tried to let his behind go, who came back to who?
Hey, look.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
so anyway, so we getting ahead of the game.
Y'all are a whole vibe.
Vibe. Because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. The story is so old. But anyway.
It's true though.
But no, seriously. Yes. And so we didn't honestly though, we really didn't start out that. It kind of came into that. And then I'll admit the 4 children scared the mess out of me. It was definitely a like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. I already have my one, so it was a lot to really like take in. It was a lot.
So during the course of the friendship, when you guys were cultivating a friendship, did your children ever have an opportunity to connect on any level, or was it just you and Chris hanging out and getting to know each other?
So we hung out a lot. Like we were friends. Like we would go out and she'd be trying to hook me up with somebody else. And I'm like, I like you, but
I'm trying to be with you.
Right. But when I realized that I did not, want to entertain anyone else or anything like that, I just really knew that T was like it for me. We started hanging out and I introduced her to my girls first.
Yeah.
We went skating. We went
skating,
and they had fun. And I didn't think they didn't think anything of it because they were just out having fun, And I said, okay, let me see how she interacts with them. Let me see how they interact with her.
Right.
And there was a real cool vibe.
Right.
And like I don't even remember. Everything was like a blur.
It is a blur. But I think that the most important thing too, just to kind of park the car is to see how your children that you have will kind of mesh with the partner that you're considering to marry, because to me that's a big deal, like a very big deal, that they feel and get a good vibe from the person that you're considering kind of being in it long term. So yeah, we actually took like baby steps. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I met the girls first and then I met CJ and Reagan, and it just kind of like went into that. So we kind of really garnered the relationship wasn't forced with the kids, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, that's always a good thing because it was super organic. Like it wasn't even intentional. Like just kind of kicking it, and we end up being, wow, now we're married.
Right. It really did happen like that. Yeah.
So as time progressed and the relationship started to be defined, and you mentioned the fear and the apprehension that you had, Tomitchell, when you woke up one morning and you realized this is getting ready to be my family.
Right.
What did you do to be able to partner with the children's mom? How did that play out?
So actually, that is probably one of the roughest patches that we went through. And in the very beginning, now, mind you, I was pregnant with Ty. Like it was a lot of moving parts at that time. So at that time, the children weren't the issue. And let me make this side note. All the moms, we are all good. Like we are cool as a fan, both moms, like everybody is cool. But at that time, I think the transition really affected those relationships. And with that, it kind of trickled down and influenced the children too. Yeah. And that was a challenge. So it was rocky in the I mean, no like physical altercations or anything like that, but it was definitely rocky in the very beginning. What do you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, no, it was very rocky. It was, to me, it was like parents competing. Right. I just wanted them to like T, the kids, and I wanted to get along with their mom, but we just didn't have that type of relationship then. The maturity level, yeah. I guess we weren't ready for all that. We weren't communicating, and I guess nobody thought about how important this is for the kids, so it was rough. Yeah. It was rough for like some years.
Yeah, it was rough for a couple of years. It really was. Yeah.
And what was the power that helped the two of you to be able to stay united through the course of that time? Because I can imagine how much strain and stress it
Mhm.
was between trying to work with the children, have that balance between you and Chris working, doing all the things that you have to do on a normal, continuous basis. How were you all able to navigate through that? What did that look like?
I'll say for me, it was more so, and you mentioned kind of united front, being a united front, and sometimes we did butt heads, regarding certain situations. But I think what we started doing is really ignoring some of the battles so we can win the war, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of things, little nitpicky things that we were like, you know what? We cannot continue to pay attention to every single dig, offense, room, whatever. We just can't continue to pay attention to that. And so we have to really hone in on our relationship and our family when we have all the kids together and focus on that, because I can't fight every single battle. And I think Chris actually struggled more so than I did with that.
It was tough. I mean, because it hit financially. Yeah. At one point in time, you know, and it was rough focusing on that. But what T did, you know, she would kind of like just say, hey, look, you know, you gonna fight this, you know, with words and all that kind of stuff, or you gonna, you know, go to court. You know, let's go. If you do this, then you don't need to talk. Just let them. Let's duke it out there. So I left it alone. I think when I stopped arguing, because I was the one that was trying to hold everything together, I was like, there's no reason for anyone not to like T, or there's no reason for us to argue. And I think when I just, like she said, ignored it, it got better. Yeah. It was like I was fueling the fire. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, and you really can be a culprit in your own mess by entertaining every single thing that another parent, the child, and you lose control that way. And so we had to really kind of take control back and say, listen, this is our situation. And I'm not trying to exclude nobody, because these parents were here before me. I'm not trying to take anybody's place. I'm not trying to make you call me mama. You know, it was a lot of different things that we had to kind of face, and we just had to navigate through that one trial at a time.
When you talk about that component, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to head to that question. When you talk about that component where we're identifying what the family leaders are going to be identified as. Is it going to be Chris? Is it going to be Tomitchell? Is it going to be Mr. Chris, Ms. Tomitchell? How are we going to address the adults in the household that are parenting us while we're here? So what did that look like? And how did the children respond to what was defined?
Well, I always call Tomitchell T. Like that was what I started calling her. And I think the kids just adopted that, and I felt like she was fine with it. Ryan's always called me Chris. You know, to this day, she still calls me Chris, but that's my baby. You know, I treat her like all the rest of the kids, and it's nothing to me. You know, I don't feel any disrespect. And we know people that like their kids would call their
we were weirded out.
Their fiancés or significant Mr. So-and-so, which if that works for you, right. I thought that was kind of weird.
And so I think that was actually the Breeze part of the situation, because we both agreed. We were like, listen, I don't need your kids calling me Mr., Miss T or Miss. Because, I've been with you for, X amount of years, and you still calling me that? Like, no. And there was a certain level of respect, obviously that we had, but I never wanted to say or force anybody to call me mom, or anybody. Now, I will say, as the years went by, when it came to going to school plays, to school field trips, to showing up to different things, to signing them up for school, to them having to make phone calls and different things like that, they would always refer to me as, these are my parents, this is my mom and dad. It was never like, oh, this is my stepmama and my daddy. It's like, these are my parents. So that kind of gradually grew, but we never forced any of that, and we were never offended if you said stepmom or stepdad. Right. So yeah.
And when you said that Ryan always called you Chris, initially being that considering the fact of our age group that we're in and how our parents kind of taught us when we were growing up how to address an adult, was it ever a struggle internally for you, Chris, where you were like, "Ooh, I don't know if I really should allow her to just call me by my first name. I don't know if this really is a good idea." Were there ever any questions going on internally that you kind of had to wrestle with a little bit because of how we've been reared in our hue and what the expectation is of our foreparents, pretty much?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I didn't, because when we started getting real close, Ryan was 2. So she was barely talking, actually. Ryan didn't even, like, one day she just started talking. She was quiet. Yeah, she didn't really talk. And then all of a sudden she started talking. And then that's when she started calling me Chris, probably about 4.
Yeah.
Well,
about 4 or so. And obviously she was mimicking what I was calling him. So she just,
Because there was never really a time where you kind of initiated the daddy conversation. This is your daddy. This is your dad. Say dad. It wasn't that conversation. So was there ever, Tomitchell, on your side of the coin? I know we've spoke candidly about Chris's side of the coin and the children's moms. Was there ever any issue with Ryan's father as it pertained to Chris?
Surprisingly, no. There has never been an issue. Ryan's dad is a truck driver, so he is not here physically. However, he is in her life heavily. So there are the phone calls. There is the the child support. There's the he's there. You know what I mean? I think the understanding between them two is that he understands that there's a physical part that he really can't kind of be there for. So Chris kind of stands in the gap when it comes to the everyday. I call it the fruits and the vegetables, because when you get with daddy, you sweet as pie, you got your dessert, you're so nice. But now you have the parent who handles you every day, and I think that there's kind of been an unspoken agreement and understanding between both of them. And they've always gotten along. So it's never really been an issue. Never. With them. Yeah.
That's been cool.
That's very impressive. Normally there's some dissension going on in some type of way, shape, or form, to where, especially when it's a girl involved, about being, my daughter's father, and different types of challenges that come along with that. So I definitely applaud the way that you all have been able to navigate through those normal oppositions that normally would manifest relationally as when you're starting to blend a family together. So let's move on to another component, discipline. When it comes to the blending of the families and the children with the different parents and the discipline, how does that play out as far as that's concerned? Because, when children are at different households, that is played out very, very differently. And the perception of how it should be addressed can be a little bit gray, depending on where they are and what the offense, if you will, is as it pertains to the children. So how have you all been able to navigate through that component?
Well, I'm heavy on discipline.
Yeah.
T she's more diplomatic. T is like, we'll talk about it. I think she's getting a little more stern now within the last couple of years or so, but I'm the one that will put my foot down. I'm the no person. They come to me,
not all the time though. Not all the time. Especially
it's a no. no. But
it's a strong no, obviously.
It's aggressive no.
Because I'm more of a, what you gonna do for me? Okay, if we do this, what you gonna do for me? I want you to see that things aren't free in life, and okay, you could get rewarded based on this. Oh yeah, we could do this today.
Right.
I don't like to set them up for a yes all the time.
Right. And I don't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, what I was going to say was, if we can be like super candid, this is actually our biggest area. Like this is where I want to tell people is that you will never stop blending. you're never going to stop blending. You're constantly, as long as these kids are active and in your life and you're doing your best to be a great parent, you're never going to stop blending. And so when it comes to discipline, I am diplomatic. I'm not a big yeller. You know, sometimes it is difficult for me to enforce a lot of different things because I have a lot of stuff on my plate. But at the same time, I'm learning from Chris that, okay, T, you got to balance this out. So I think we're both learning off each other because he learns off of me. I'm like, some stuff you really don't have to, we ain't got to come to the, you know, we ain't got to shoot the ant with a shotgun. We ain't got to do all that. We can just use a little fly swatter, you know. So learning like different techniques and ways, that is really kind of one of our biggest things and our biggest areas of opportunity, I will say. Right. So, and it's so funny because we just talked about this tonight because he's never laid a hand on Ryan. And I've never laid a hand on, you know, the 4 that came in with him. So I think there was spanking. Yeah, we're not big on like physical. We just not.
Ain't saying I ain't do it, but
right. There has been some, you know, but
right. Just not big on it.
Yeah, but just not that's one thing we do agree on. It's not super physical when it comes to the kids, but grounding, taking away stuff, chores, respect. Yeah. And I will say that one thing that we have been blessed with is that we don't have we don't have no disrespectful kids. You know what I mean? Now they talk back, and that's one thing that grinds his gears and mine too. But yeah, that's kind of like how we kind of navigate through that. Just kind of every situation is very different. So
now you mentioned quite a few age groups being present. Mm-hmm. You got about 3 generations that you're really dealing with. When you talk about children in the 20s and you have teenagers, and then you have a child that's not even preteen, if you will, not just yet, even in the vein to be preteen. So what's happening with the teaching of the human sexuality component? How's that having been addressed in the household? I have heard instances, and I know, of course, you guys may have heard too, where there have been households where there was an attraction between the stepchildren, where the children from this house, one of them liked the other, so things like that. And I know you guys have seen that before, not necessarily in your own house. So as you all were raising them and they were actually around each other, starting to cultivate relationships of their own between themselves, how are you all handling the sexuality of your children? Who actually addressed that? Was it the other parents? Was it the parents who created the children? Did you all have some type of agreement? How were you all addressing their sexuality?
I think we both did.
Yeah, we have.
We both very like candid, and not candid in a way that is vulgar and over the top, but also in a way that I need you to be comfortable to come and talk to me.
Right.
If there is an issue, if there's something that you're feeling. And also, I think him and I both have set all of the age groups up to say, hey, these things are going to happen. You're going to be with somebody. You're going to feel this way. You're going to want to do this. I've heard Chris give analogies, you know, to the girls on his own. I walked up on him, you know, talking to his kids. We've, you know, set CJ aside. So yeah, we're very open about that. Like there's never like, hey, we're not going to talk about that.
And respect the other, you know,
absolutely.
For one, female or male, it doesn't matter. And then we also, I never raised them. So my dad is the oldest, and they're from a previous relationship. CJ and Reagan, the 19 and 16-year-old, they're from another mom. And until I never raised them to be, that's your half sister, your half brother, or what have you. No, y'all are brother and sister. Doesn't matter. Even with Ryan, Ryan is your sister. Okay, it doesn't matter what you think. No step or nothing. So when they address each other, or when they're out, or they're talking about, that's my sister, you won't know that they don't come from the same mother and father at all. Period. Yeah, they don't even interact like half and
no, they got their own like whole group text. I'm sure they be talking crap about us, but whatever. But yeah, so,
right.
Who cares? No, but
talking about me.
No, they talk about us. But No, it's but yeah, as far as the sexuality goes, yeah, that was always an open discussion between all of the every last one of them. Yeah.
Chris, when you think about Ryan and you have to do the daddy conversations where you have to step in when it comes to young suitors who are interested in her, she's a beautiful young lady. How are you addressing that as a dad? Do you actually connect with her father in regards to that as far as how he feels about her dating? Or do you all just address it because, like Tomitchell mentioned, that he's predominantly on the road? Has he just given you all the liberty to say, go forth and do great things? Or is he included as far as the male suitors are concerned?
I think that she is just, based on from what we can see, she's just stepping into maybe liking, she got a little fella she likes or what have you. But as far as talking to her, I've talked, like T said, I have open discussion with both because Ryan and Reagan are so close in age.
Right.
I talked to them together.
Mm-hmm. So how old is Reagan?
She's 16.
And they are like this.
Yeah, they're very
close. Her and Reagan are like tight. So there's like twos. There's Ty and CJ, the boys. Reagan and Ryan are like super duper tight, and Jazz and Jamila are really tight. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
And as far as like her dad, like T said, we've never had an issue. I've always, hey, what's going on? We talk sports and talked about Ryan. I'll call him if I have a problem.
Yeah,
I'll pick up the phone and be like, hey man, this is what's going on. I took a phone, and so if you try to call him, for a week or two, that you want to call me a T, and he never had a problem with any of that. I mean, it's I think he knows, and I've addressed that I will never treat her any different than I treat any of my kids ever, like biological.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that can't happen.
When it comes to supporting other couples in your community, in your church, in the areas where you all have the most heavy presence and the most effect in your particular community and your sphere of influence, what have been some things that you have impressed upon people who are even contemplating coming together with a blended scenario?
I haven't really.
While she's thinking, can I say something?
Yeah,
I don't know if this addresses your question directly, but
I think I know where you're going.
We have, T and I, we are like fun. We like to have fun. I love my wife. I love the kids, and we go out. We're free. We're free spirits. I'm not trying to act like I got it. I'm not trying to, act high and mighty. I might embarrass myself out there. It doesn't matter to me. We gonna have fun though, and I feel like that we have been around couples that weren't doing anything with their kids. I'm talking about they would come home and go to sleep. Everybody be in another room, and we've hung out with them. And we don't hang out with this couple anymore, but they had quite a few kids, and now you see them. I mean, they it's like they lit up. I don't know if it's necessarily because of us, but we started hanging out with them, and they started going places. They were like,
they said that
they didn't do it.
They said that. So I don't think that I have any examples when it comes to people that are about to get together. Coffee, but we do have several examples of families that are already together and that they're already blended. And, we may have connected with those couples and they've seen us in action. Like maybe we went to the beach or we just did something fun, because we are a fun bunch. Now, when we get together, we alive. And so I think that they may have been inspired by that, and they have vocalized that before. And they'll say, man, I see y'all family. And y'all look like y'all have a lot of fun. And we, this really inspired us to try to get out the house and do things with the kids and, be more, connected and really be together as a family. And sometimes we have been in people's lives for very short seasons and nothing happened. That's the reason why we stopped talking. But I think sometimes we can set a fire to certain situations and people and their families. And that's kind of where the influence comes in. And it's not on purpose. You know what I mean? It's very organic, like you mentioned previously. So that's kind of how we would influence, I believe.
And with that, now as you all are pretty much starting to head into that last home stretch of getting your children into the secondary classrooms and things like that, and we're still in the midst of a very challenging crisis situation, how have you all been able to address that situation with everybody going from house to house? You're going over here with your parents, you're going over here with them. How have you all been able to address that as far as safety is concerned, and making sure everybody is going to be okay, and we're not, bringing in all this kind of stuff that's going on, and kind of pretty much being really proactive during this time, even though everybody has to go with their family, basically, if you will. So how have you all been able to navigate through that process during this pandemic time?
I think honestly, we're super blessed in this area. One, because our two oldest both have their own places. The two middle, they live with their mom, but they come and go as they please. And the two youngest live with us. So it's actually been pretty okay navigating through all of that, because everybody kind of has their own little pod, like our oldest, they'll come over, they'll pop in, and they'll sit and spend some time, and then they'll go back home, and then I think one of our second oldest had gotten like sick or something like that, and she stayed at her house. She didn't come over.
Right.
CJ and Reagan, they may pop in maybe once or twice a week, and then some weeks they over here all the time. So it just kind of like, that's kind of how we've been navigating. Of course, obviously the younger two, they stay with us. So we just kind of got to work through with whatever.
With come out their room, Holly.
Yeah, with them going to school and stuff like that. So that's kind of been how it's looked. And I think what's making that easy is that all 8 of us are no longer in the house together, because we were at one point. And
so you all were actually existing as one huge army at some point in your journey. Was this like when you guys initially got married, or was that like somewhere in the middle? Because you all have been together about a decade, at least as man and wife.
Yeah,
as a decade, right? So what time frame was that when you all had the entire army under one roof?
Man, this was like probably in the middle. It was like in the middle of our marriage, and some circumstances had come up where CJ had to stay with us. Our two oldest were here all throughout high school, and all of us were just kind of like here. Now that was overstimulating, for lack of a better word. And it was a lot, because you have all these different personalities, all these different cleaning habits, all of these different things running around the household, and all the food getting eaten up. Right. All the snacks disappearing.
You gotta hide your favorite stuff.
In the right. We had to put stuff in our closet. I mean, it was
up in the bathroom. Somebody, girl, why you got these snacks in the tub? I mean,
why is so stiff? What is happening here? What are you doing? I mean, it was constant. So yeah, that was a hard time. I mean, it was a lot. We can laugh about it now, but Jesus.
Do you feel during that time, did you all ever seek any outside guidance, maybe counseling, a coach, or someone to help you to navigate through that uncharted territory? It sounds as though it was a little bit difficult to be able to navigate through everybody just all of a sudden manifesting, and just, we got to all be here and we have to live together right now. Was there anyone that you all leaned into during the course of that time to really, really help you navigate and to keep your marriage strong?
I have to say, shout out to my bishop, Rudolph McKissick. We were going to our married ministry.
Yeah.
And we decided that we'll go. A couple of friends of ours, I think they started going.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, y'all ought to come. So we learned some things. I learned things about myself that I thought I was right on, and
you was dead wrong, Chris.
Dead wrong. Oh my goodness. I have to admit it. Dead wrong.
But it was the wrong ministry.
Yeah, I
the wrong ministry.
That but I mean, I saw where T was getting like upset about things, like I think for a while she felt like the kids didn't like her. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? They love you. So was she going back to where she was like,
well, Chris, love and like is real different.
It is very different.
They like
her. It's
very
different.
They love her. It's just, you got this woman coming in, my daddy's wife or my daddy's girlfriend at the time or whatever.
My daddy's wife.
They never said that.
Right.
They never said that.
It's true. But it's so true, though. It's very true.
Yes.
Because, we don't necessarily hear children say that, but I'm in the secondary education space, and I've heard students say on a number of occasions, my dad's wife or my mom.
And that's the conversation.
My mama's man and those type of things. And I was like, that ain't none of my daddy. That's the man that my mama married. And that's the lady that my daddy got. I don't even know. And just to hear that, but to hear how the two of you have navigated, I would be really curious to sit all of the children down in one space and just kind of hear them tell their side of the story.
I would love to hear
that. They will call a meeting in a minute.
Oh yeah.
The kids, we need to talk to y'all.
They'll call a meeting and talk to us.
All of them.
They sure will. Yeah. And so, but I appreciate that because that's the type of communication that we've cultivated with all of them.
Right.
And it's like, I don't ever want you to be afraid to come to me or your dad. And if it's something you want to tell me in confidence, it's going to be between me and you. Now, if it's damaging, obviously I'm going to share it with your dad.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So we've kind of, I know for me now, I've built my own little relationship with each one of them. And I have to love each of them very, very differently. Mm-hmm. And we all relate different. You know what I mean? So, but now I think it is definitely panned out. With the amount of children, 6, that's a lot, and it has been. I would love to do that. That'd be cool to kind of interview them and see what they say.
Yeah, I next year we're going to really kind of be tapping more into family, the whole entirety, because being in the relational space and coaching and things like that, I have found that a lot of times the conversations that we really should be having, the children should be involved in those communications, because we have a tendency to not let them speak their truth when it comes to, their experiences and what they really saw and had manifest with them. I mean, we kind of assume what they really think and feel, but in reality, what they think, who they are, how they feel is really kind of a lot different than what we perceive. Prior to us getting on, I was having a conversation with Yasmin, my youngest daughter, and we were talking about just the difference in generational thought patterns and ideas and how our foreparents did with us versus how we did with them before their dad passed. And just to hear her side of the coin as far as the experience is concerned, it's very enlightening, because it's like, I don't recall ever having those type dialogues with my parents, basically saying, you suck, what you did sucked. You need to get yourself together. And, that ain't, Jesus didn't do that. That was you. You need to get yourself together. And I know Black folks don't normally apologize, but what I'm going to need you to do is get yourself together and say you're wrong. Please.
That's right.
God bless you. Have a good
day. And that's one thing that I think him and I know for me, I'm very good at, is I want to teach my kids how to apologize, because parents can get out of pocket. And the reason why the 40 somethings is so tired is because we are really grappling with our old values and these new values with these kids. And we want to be stern and we want to keep our old stuff, but then we also want to be empathetic and we want you to be open and we want you to have to. So it's a lot. And so we have had those dialogues, and we have had to backpedal and say, listen, I was wrong for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I apologize.
I do that way more than I used to.
He never used to apologize.
Way more.
And I think it's important that children understand that with parenting, it's an ongoing process. It's kind of like when I used to be when I used to have a team I was sharing with my daughter, and I had this team, and I used to be like, ooh, some of these personalities.
Right.
And then I had to consider that they may be thinking the same thing about me. They might be saying her personality. Yeah, just navigating through that and just sharing with her how we have to look at things through the lenses of others as opposed to just our way of thinking. It can create a really, really good safe space for everybody to feel welcome, loved, the mutual love, the mutual freedom, the mutual respect that is necessary in order for parents and children to have a really healthy bond and keep that bond intact. That is so very important. As you guys continue to grow into this space where you're going to have quite a few young adults, have you all ever contemplated what it's going to be like when you cross over to your children procreating? Do you all have conversations about that?
I think T ready for the older kids, but we've talked about it.
No, I can tell you on behalf of T, no, sir, we're not ready for that. No,
we're not.
I
know.
I'm not ready. I'm not a
he's definitely not ready.
I'm not ready.
You know what? I'm not ready either. I do understand that if it does, I understand what my oldest two are doing. And if it happens, that's just what it is. But that doesn't equate to me being ready.
We talked to them about the importance of waiting.
Yeah.
And making sure that you're with that person. Hopefully you would decide to get married. There's decisions we made early on in life that our lives didn't go that way. But it's important for you to know that, well, them to know that I hope that you highly consider being married to a person that you know that you want to be with. I know people change, but still, at least you made that commitment and you see that person wanted to commit back to you. And I always told them when they graduate, I said, look, go out here, go have fun, go live your life, go to school, get education, go travel, go do what you want to do, and then think about having children.
Right.
Go ahead and get a lot out your system so you don't have regrets.
Yeah.
And so a question for the two of you, we talked about the blending of the families. So have either of you been married prior to your being married to each other?
I have one time.
Yeah, I have not. This is my first marriage.
Okay. So when you contemplate that and you think about that part, when you think about that, have you ever felt like there was any comparison as far as with your parenting versus Chris's prior spouse or anything like that? Have you guys ever had that kind of hiccup to manifest?
No, actually, no. I think that one thing that I did love about, or that I do love, is the transparency that Chris talked about, with what happened with his first marriage. And, it never really crossed my mind because they didn't get this far in the game. And I believe there's only certain things you're going to learn while you're building the ship. You know what I mean? And there's only certain territories you're going to reach if you're in it. And I don't believe that they were in it that long to really even build up a case or to even talk about, I used to do it like this or what have you. So no, it was never really an issue because it really wasn't that much to compare, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. So basically the two of you kind of created your own life, even though there were other people prior to each other. So it sounds like you still had a really kind of strong foundational experience between the two of you and how you built and you forged your relationship. So let me ask you, how long were you all dating after Chris says, you trying to deny that you was all deep and in love with him? So when that real shift happened and the two were in agreement, how long was the agreement, the dating? where everybody knew they was together. Because
I like how you put that together.
Right.
Obviously, somebody didn't get the same information that the other person got. So once everybody got the same information and you guys started taking the journey together, how long were you all in a committed relationship before you actually got married? And did you all actually live under the same roof?
We did. So we hung out in groups. And then we started hanging out one-on-one, and Ty came up really quick.
Yeah.
Like he came up quick. It was, we were probably dating for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And T got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my own.
She got pregnant by herself?
She got pregnant.
He knocked me up. Coffee.
Oh, I think that's what happened because he said she got pregnant. Like, why do men say, let's stop right? Let's put
that's another conversation.
She got us pregnant.
That's another conversation.
What I'm saying? And
why do men say that you got pregnant? What do you mean?
We got pregnant.
Thank you.
We got pregnant.
Because I have no sperm. I just have an egg.
I ain't got it. All I got is an egg.
I don't have no swimmers. I can't get myself. Somebody's son would have to get the daughter of Zion pregnant. But go ahead.
Zion.
Go ahead, Chris, with your side of the story.
But yeah, it was about it was about like in totality about 2 years, and honestly, Chris was very. I was more of a commitment phobe, but Chris was like, listen, we have to make some type of commitment because. I remember his words. He was like, I'm not trying to be like shacking and being, under one roof together and just raising kids. And he's like, I'm not trying to be a 35-year-old boyfriend. And so there was a serious.
It's intentional. I like.
He did. So
was there a role reversal? Was she trying to be the dude over there? Like, it was.
Yeah,
right. Because we don't have to do this. We don't have to.
I mean, it was.
It surprised me coming from the type of person that she is too.
Yeah, I wasn't on board. I mean, we can be super transparent. I was not on board.
She was like, "We could try this." I'm like, "Try."
Yeah, I was like, "We can do a trial period marriage. We can do it for 30 days, see if it works."
Trial period marriage.
She told her exact words. We can try this.
You are coming in hot, ma'am.
I did, and so he
trial period.
Yeah,
she tried to leave me.
But he was very.
Wait a minute! Don't slide back. I heard you. She tried to leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got things going on. I'm just, and I think you were pregnant then, right?
I think I was and didn't know it.
And so she didn't know it, but she was trying to leave me. I was like, hold up, time out. I was off work. I went up to Citibank. I was like, hey, let's go lunch. We need to talk. What's going on with you?
You went to the employment place?
I turned around, I got off my phone call, turned around, he was sitting right there. Oh, okay. On your day off?
Yeah,
okay. That's what we're doing. So you here at the office, sir, you
on your day off.
You here, sir. You right here at my office where I'm at. And okay. So you coming in.
You said no, ma'am, it's not happening. So it's a very interesting story on how things kind of like transpire. It is not your common, we fell in love and it's really not.
Not like I didn't like her.
I didn't like him either like that. But that was in a very, So yeah. Yeah.
When did the switch happen? Was it I have a friend and she told me one day she just woke up and it was like, I think I'm in love with him. She said, and they've been married probably 30 years now, something like that. Yeah. But nonetheless, she was like, before it was like nothing there. And then she said she woke up one morning like, I think I'm in love with him.
I think it was just one of those things where it was like, let's just go for it. And I was like, it really was kind of like a light switch. Like, man, I'm going to settle down with this dude, So it did at some point hit me.
And then she used to she told me, yeah, because I was praying and everything for the Lord to give me a sign.
And he ain't give me no sign.
I'm like, what?
I thought he was going to give me a sign.
What kind of sign did you think you needed?
Right. I need a sign to know if this is what I need to do. Give me a crash and burn sign. Give me something, Jesus. Is this where I need to be? So, and I didn't get that.
So what kind of did you need?
We ain't making this up. This is real.
This is real life.
No, I know it's real because I knew Tomitchell, that Tomitchell versus this Tomitchell is not the same woman. It's just not. She's softer now. You know what I mean? Kind of like, she got a little soft over time. I like it though. Yeah. It's really dope. It's really kind of cute. It's
you know I was hardcore.
She's sweet lady. I'm gonna tell you,
I don't think I'm ever gonna. I think I'm still kind of a little. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever kind of. Well, maybe I don't know.
We weren't even trying to plan a wedding. Like, we were talking about what to do and when we want to do it. And one day she wakes up and says, let's go get married.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of like, it was like, you know what, let's just do it.
I was like, oh, okay. You want to do this today?
Yeah.
And that's so y'all went to the courthouse.
Yeah.
We went to the courthouse. Well, we got married in church.
We got married in the church, and we had one witness, which he passed away, and that's a whole nother story. I loved him. And
he passed away before signing the witness statement?
No. This is afterwards.
I was gonna say, well, y'all ain't really married, but go ahead.
I'm not dealing with
got that whole Martin and Pam thing going on.
Right. Y'all ain't really married, but go ahead.
What you say? And I don't wasted this whole hour talking to y'all, and y'all ain't even married.
All this time that y'all, I thought I looked at the Duval County.
You stupid.
My common law.
Right. We got a common law thing going on. No.
Oh, I have mercy.
Yeah. So that's how that started. But to really just sum it up, it really was a decision, because you have to decide to love these children. You didn't choose these children. Your children that came from you. That's easy. Absolutely. But to deal with children that did not come from you and have already been programmed by different opinions, lifestyles, values and stuff like that. And for you as a step parent to make a choice to still be there for these children as if they are your own takes a different kind of strength. So it is something to think about if this is the route that you are deciding to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you are marrying this person and their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it is. That's how it is in my world.
Yeah.
I was with T and I was with Ryan, and that's how it is. They come together, and I'm gonna have to love this little girl like she one of mine.
Yeah. And I was
another question for you guys before we wrap up for the night. So I have another question for you guys. Tomitchell, you mentioned having quite a few things that you have to navigate through as far as work and things of that nature, some things that are on your plate. And I know you and Chris are in the entrepreneurial space, and I know that you all do some kind of traditional work as well. How do you all navigate through that and be able to get everything done that you need to get done with the children, still have the time investment for each other, have the time to do your self-care, all that good stuff? Are you all doing a schedule? How is that working out for you to have your you time, to have your us time, to have your family time, and then work on creating that, legacy, that inheritance for your future generations with your brand and the companies that you're building?
There ain't no schedule.
Because you know what it is? There are so many different things that happen throughout the week that are beyond our control.
They change.
So one day he might be responsible for dinner, but then he has to get called off for practice or something like that. And now I have to do dinner. And now I got to switch around. So there's so many different, and I think really what it is working as a team and being able to pivot at any given moment. But we are very vocal about whether or not, hey, I need some time. I need my me time. I need some time. Like, we are very vocal about that when we need to kind of get away. And we're very vocal about like, hey, it's time for us to go on a date night. We need to do some dinner. We need to do something. Let's go have some drinks. Let's just hang out, me and you. So I think just vocalizing that and being upfront is how we kind of navigate through that. And I'll be upfront and say, hey, I'm about to take 2 hours because I need to work on this.
Right.
So while I'm working on this, just leave me alone.
I stay up late.
He stays up late. So there's a lot of different little things that we do to kind of navigate through that. And it works. Could it be better? Could it take some more polishing? Absolutely. But I think there's so many different things that change. We kind of just stay open and flexible when it comes to kind of, chopping up all those things.
But we do have a lightweight schedule, I guess. Just Monday is Monday. The kids is Tuesday is family night.
Yeah, we do have a family night.
Like Ty have practice.
Right.
And then your mom picks
up. You have guy
night. For Thursdays, I have guy night.
Yeah.
Fellas night.
Yeah. So there's a couple different things. I may have brunch with the ladies on Saturday. But Tuesday night is definitely the staple night where all the kids come over. We'll either play a game, do dinner, do something together. But we did, and they wanted that. I mean, we wanted that, but they were like, we need to do this. So yeah.
Sundays will be family night. Just we keep that open.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if we're with the kids, and let's just say we had something that we were gonna do, and everybody's just still having too much fun doing what we were doing,
we'll cancel out. Yeah. It
happens.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to wrap up for the night. You guys, we have been with Chris and Tomitchell Pratcher, our first husband and wife international best-selling team. And secondly, the entrepreneurial endeavors that they're doing, as well as just blended amazing story of their family, of how they've been successful at having a blended family with children from very, different parents. But they have brought everybody together and created this whole big army and doing some incredible things. And they have a family of 8, a unit of 8, which is the number of new beginnings. And so that's amazing to know that you all have been able to be so successful at blending your families, 2 different sets of families coming together as one, and talking about the highs, the lows, and the in-betweens of how that actually looks. But I got a little bit of a question. I'm still sitting here pondering, why I don't have the T-shirt that the 2 of you have on tonight. It says "Who all" over there, and it's just pro-black. That's a pro-black T-shirt, and I'm really saddened because my backdrop, it would have matched perfectly for all of us to have had on that T-shirt tonight.
You know what? I dropped the ball.
You're right.
Remember that segment where I said I apologize. I'm apologizing because I was wrong. I should have sent that to you.
I don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to hear that.
What you want to hear?
What you coming in hot? Who all over there? If that's not an African American T-shirt, I don't think I've ever seen a more pro African American T-shirt in my whole life.
Can I say where to get it? Can I plug where?
I don't even know if I want you to plug it. And the show is I don't even know. No, seriously, congratulations on everything that you guys are doing. I don't know why it kicked them out. They went off the program. Oh my God. So guys, hopefully they can hop back in. Jason, I don't know what happened. They just kind of hopped off the screen. But hopefully they are able to hop back in. Apparently their screen went out.
I don't know. I think that I'm here.
I don't know what happened. It was like, I don't know whether the devil got in it or something. What happened? But you guys, they are in the clubhouse room right now. You can hear Tomitchell's voice. But they're going to share with you exactly how you can actually grab that T-shirt. Who all over there? It's a very dope T-shirt. I love it. And I definitely am looking to do that and do a TikTok and let that thing go viral, because that is a dope T-shirt. So Tomitchell, Chris, if you guys can share with our viewing audience before we head out for the night, where they can get that T-shirt. I got to get mine.
No, absolutely. You will get yours. And again, we do apologize. You know we got yours coming. But you can go to www.uncutdrip.com. And this hoodie and this shirt has been selling like really, really well. So it's become pretty popular. And you can get a t-shirt or a hoodie in any color, I think from gray, green, white, and black, I believe. So yeah, you can go to www.uncutdrip.com and just kind of browse around, and that's where you would go.
Awesome. Okay, so I think y'all are back. Okay, awesome stuff.
That's the baby.
I remember. I know who Ty is. I can't forget Ty. I used to help take care of Ty when he was a tiny human. When Mitchell and I were back in the day where we were doing our theater. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember Ty. Ty gave me a hard time. He really did. But,
yeah.
Ty gave me. Tomitchell was like, "Can you just take him out?" Because I mean, can you just take him out? And you know how she make that face, Chris? Like he worrying me, and so I can't do nothing. Can you take him out? Can y'all take him out? Can the kids? It's okay. The kids take him out, play with him, because he don't like. He not feeling it right now.
He's not gonna be still.
Sure,
He came out rain.
I remember. I totally remember when he was a tiny human. Yes, I remember definitely. So Tomitchell and Chris are back. If you can share with the community again where they can actually get the t-shirt and how they can find the two of you.
Yeah, so we have a website and it's called Uncut Drip. Uncut stands for Until They Say See You Trying. Some very my favorite. Well, now this is the favorite because it's been selling like crazy, but Unsilenced, that was one of my favorite shirts. And that's how we kind of started. And it was just basically, thinking about the person that has come up, they weren't polished, but you come up rough. You had to go through some things. And my logo was a diamond, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
But it's www.uncutdrip.com. And you can find a realtor online.
Yeah.
And Tomitchell is a realtor in Florida. So if you're looking for a property and you need an incredible realtor, she's been in the space for a number of years. So she is definitely considered as an expert in that arena. Be certain that you connect with her. She does have her media kit readily available for speaking engagements. If you're looking for a very solid speaker as well, she is incredible when it comes to that as well. She's also, her and Chris are both international published authors, and you can definitely connect with them about grabbing some autographed copies of their publication, most definitely. We are so excited that the two of you stopped by this evening and yielded your time. Time is the only thing that we can never get back, so we are grateful to have you guys on with us tonight. It is the holiday season, so people are kind of chilling out and just kind of relaxing. We are very close to Christmas. So I just want to thank you all for just taking time out of your schedule to be with us. And of course, it's Tuesday, it's your family night. And so you guys gave us the time that you normally give over to your family. So thank you for that. And we appreciate that as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, when P Coffee said, "Hey,
we
appreciate you," like, wait a minute,
you made some incredible things happen for our family this year. So we do not take that lightly at all. So anytime that y'all
are dope. I appreciate that. Well, we're getting ready to head out for the evening, guys. We will be back on next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're getting prepared for our master class that is coming up on January the 8th. It is the Soul Reset Masterclass to help you navigate through the relationships that you need to dissolve and the relationships that you need to continue to cultivate. And that includes the one that you have with yourself. So it's very important that the prosperity of our soul be in place. So we would that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So we want to make sure you understand what that really looks like. And we want to launch into 2022 and get that done. So the Soul Reset Masterclass, the information that ticker at the bottom of your screen, you can go to coffee10k.com. That's with a K and one E instead of a traditional C and two E's. So when you head over there, you'll be able to click the link and become a part of that masterclass coming up in January, on January the 8th of 2022. And when you complete the class, you will be receiving an amazing free gift for completing that class. So we want to bless you as you bless us. So we're looking forward to seeing you on January the 8th. And also for those that have been praying for my family, my brother is still in the hospital, but he is made out of surgery and he's going to be fine. So definitely continue to keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He has a very long recovery ahead of him, but and his birthday is tomorrow. So definitely keep him in your prayers and thank God that he made it through that very challenging situation this past weekend. So definitely keep us in your thoughts and prayers. I have kind of like not really been myself. I'm getting back to myself. But it was a rough last couple of days. But by the grace of God, my brother is still here. He made it through his surgery.
Amen.
He's going to be all right. So I'm grateful for that. So God is good. God is good. A little scary weekend. A little scary. But yeah, a little something, a little turbulence. I was like, ooh, we're coming in hot. My God.
Right.
So just y'all be careful out here in these streets. Y'all just be careful. Tread lightly, children of God. Y'all tread lightly. Tread lightly. But no, seriously, again, thank you too for being here tonight. I really appreciate both of you all. We look to see you back in 2022 with something else y'all may have popping up. But we are looking forward to another collaboration for spouses and people that have been married in times past. If you're divorced or you're currently married, we are truly looking for you for a collaboration for next year. We're not going to let the cat out the bag because if somebody steals the book title, it's going to be a problem. Praise God.
It's going to be a whole problem.
Hallelujah. I'll tell nothing but God. Huh? Listen, you got to learn that out here in these streets, Tomitchell.
Absolutely.
You can't say everything. You can't say
you got to keep yourself to yourself.
Huh? You can't say everything the Lord is doing because people be listening and then they come with some, oh, that's a title. Because I got a gift of title ministries. I don't want people to lose their mind and I have to come find them. Because no man's copyright. If I say it now, you go take it. We're gonna replay this at the courthouse.
Right.
Yeah, we oh no, this was on the video at 9:15 Central Standard Time, 10:15 Eastern. That came from me. Huh? Okay. So I love you too, and thank you guys again for being on the show tonight. And Ty, welcome in, Ty. Good to see you. So hopefully next year we'll have your entire family on with us, and we can definitely talk about how the children feel about that blender, that same blender with the strawberries and bananas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to be an interesting conversation for real.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Until next time, grace, peace, and blessings be unto each of you, your families, and hopefully you all have an incredible Christmas and Happy New Year. One of you guys will be seeing us for Beauty in the Bible. It will be pre-recorded for this upcoming Saturday's session, but it will be a session nonetheless. We will be talking about Christmas, and then we'll be back next Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, grace, peace, and blessings. And good night, everybody. We'll see you next
Good night. Thank
Coach
you.
P. Coffee Brown and the DFG Publishing House family presents She Chose Him and Screwed Me, 9 Reasons for Her Decision, a brand new anthology project by 9 incredible women. They share with you their reasons as to why they would date one and choose to be married to another. Order your copy today from your favorite author or simply go to www.dfgpublishingtoday.com.